So, the question has to be asked at this point. Is Marvel headed for another catastrophe MCU movie, this time with Captain America Brave New World? A film that is now about to be reworked once again. This article is from Bounding Into Comics. Rumor: Captain America Brave New World to be reworked yet again after Marvel film fails another test screening. At this point, it seems Marvel will need a legitimate miracle if they want Sam Wilson's upcoming solo flight to do more than crash land, as a new rumor suggests that the struggling Captain America Brave New World is set to be recut yet again due to the film failing another test screening. Now, keep in mind, folks, this film is due out in February of next year, so that's 3 months from now. And you'd have to wonder if it's going to even meet that release date at this point, especially given that it's already had its release date changed twice. This film, of course, was originally supposed to be released on May 3rd of this year. Word of the next Marvel Cinematic Universe entry's latest stumble was first raised to the public on November 25th, courtesy of noted scooper Daniel RPK Richtman, in a post shared to his paid Patreon account, as recapped by numerous news outlets, including the Marvel-centric Twitter account Marvel Updates. Richtman claimed that Captain America Brave New World is currently being changed due to another negative test screening. He further noted that, at current, it's unclear if this will include another batch of reshoots or simply just re-editing. Notably, this rumour comes a little over a month after the film's most recently reported test screenings, which, according to World of Reel's Jordan Rumi, saw audiences reject 2 different cuts of Sam's next adventure. At current, it's unclear if the negative test screening mentioned by Richtman is related to those reported on by Rumi, but regardless, these results do not bode well for the Winged Avenger, indeed. And as I've previously mentioned, I think the film just looks uninteresting from the trailers that have been released so far. It just offers nothing really unique or enticing. The trailers should offer some kind of sense of intrigue, excitement, or even a wow factor. Instead, it feels like the trailers kind of hinge on the filmmakers hoping that you're going to geek out over seeing Harrison Ford transform into CGI Red Hulk. Who cares? There's just no impact there. Anyway, the article continues. After all, should Richtman's scoop turn out to be true, this recutting would mark but the latest attempt by Marvel to try and salvage Brave New World. In November 2023, veteran Hollywood insider and entertainment reporter Jeff Snyder alleged that, per his sources, a test screening of the film earlier in the year had gone so poorly that Marvel elected to take the Captain America sequel back to the drawing board, even going so far as to hire Matthew Orton, who had previously served as a consulting producer and writer on the studio's Moon Knight series, to write new material. As a result, the studio cut a major plot involving the full Serpent Society, replaced their role with a completely new villain in the form of Giancarlo Esposito's Sidewinder, and added in far more action scenes to balance out its apparently overtly preachy script. Oh dear. I didn't realize how substantial some of these reworks had been, actually. I can only imagine just how bad the original script must have been. And just think, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was preachy enough as it was. So back to the article, and according to a supposed insider who spoke to the aforementioned Rumi, this round of changes was so extensive that they allegedly cost Disney between $75 million to $100 million to produce, thus bringing the film's total budget at the time to somewhere in the ballpark of $375 million to $400 million. That qualifier of "at the time" is important, because rather than this being the end of the film's production woes, Esposito himself would reveal in early November 2024 that he would be returning to set in the coming weeks for another round of reshoots. I've already talked about that in a previous video. While it's unclear just how much money is being spent between this apparent return to set and its rumoured by Richtman post-production work, suffice to say, the film's budget is likely nearing the $500 million mark, meaning by the standard true budget equation of double a film's reported budget, Brave New World may need to make at least $1 billion to break even. The only recent MCU movie to do that, of course, was Deadpool and Wolverine. Breaking the $1 billion mark for an MCU movie these days is becoming more of a rare thing. So I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think that at this point, it's not difficult to imagine that the likelihood of Brave New World being a financial failure at the box office, but we shall see what happens. Stranger things have happened, who knows? Maybe we'll be surprised. I don't think so, however. It's really just insane, isn't it, these budgets of these movies? As you know, I recently reviewed the movie Lucy from 2014, starring Scarlett Johansson, a film that looks great. It doesn't look cheap, but it was made for only $40 million. It looks like a big budget movie of $100 million. That was a French movie. So why is Hollywood so wasteful? This Brave New World movie might cost somewhere between $375 million to $500 million. $500 million? And I don't see $500 million on the screen at all, do you? Do you see $500 million in these trailers? I mean, that's in the kind of budget region of something like Avatar, for crying out loud. And at least Avatar was a visually groundbreaking spectacle for the time. But Brave New World looks very bland by comparison. You know, as I mentioned previously, it doesn't even look as good as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV series did. The CGI locations as well they look very CG, don't they? They stand out like a sore thumb. They look very low quality. And keep in mind that this production budget, of course, doesn't factor into account the marketing budget, right, the promotional budget for the film. So that's another considerable expense. So yeah, Brave New World is going to have to make in excess of $1 billion. So I'm not surprised if these rumors turn out to be true. I'm just surprised that this film wasn't shelved long ago, given that it just seems to be a money pit at this stage. Bad money being thrown on top of more bad money. It's just getting beyond ridiculous how expensive these movies are becoming, and how Marvel just doesn't seem to be able to produce these kind of movies as efficiently and effectively as they once did. Production issues like this, basic storytelling issues, you might say, are just becoming more and more common. It's like they had the Midas touch for the first 3 phases of the MCU, and that just seems to have completely eluded them now. Creatively, maybe it's time to mothball this franchise for a while, put it on a nice long hiatus, give it some time, let the fans miss the MCU for a time. Just let it go, because it doesn't seem like there's going to be very many Deadpool and Wolverine movies all that often. Anyway, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share this video, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.